Hello, my dear listeners. Hello, my dear friends. A very good evening, I must say. Right now, it is heavily raining outside, and I am really blessed that I got the courage to read further so that we can get our weekly guidance journey through this journey through the life of our master Sri Ramakrishna Paramhansa Dev, and I hope that this journey will again inspire us to serve our duties with utmost honesty and love. So let's proceed further. From the very first, Sri Ramakrishna had realized that Narendranath was the fittest person to be initiated into the mysteries of the Advaita Vedanta. He therefore asked him to read the Ashtavakra Samhita and other Advaita treatises. But to Narendra, a staunch member of the Brahmo Samaj, these writings appeared to be heretical. He would often rebel, saying, "It is blasphemy, for there is no difference between such philosophy and atheism. There is no greater sin in the world than to think of oneself as identical with the Creator. I am God, you are God, these created things are God. What can be more absurd than this? The sages who wrote such things must have been insane." Sri Ramakrishna would be amused at the bluntness of his disciple, and not wishing to interrupt his ideas, would remark, "You may not accept the views of these seers, but how can you abuse them or limit God's infinitude? Go on praying to the God of truth and believe in that aspect of His which He reveals to you." But Narendra did not give in easily. Whatever did not tally with reason, he considered to be false, and it was his nature to stand against falsehood. Therefore, he missed no opportunity to ridicule the Advaita philosophy. But the master knew that Narendra's was the path of jnana, that in the end he would become enamored of the philosophy of the Advaita and be led to the highest realization. For this reason, he made it a point to talk on Advaita philosophy before him. One day, he tried to bring home to the latter the identity of the individual soul with Brahman, but could not convince him. Narendra left the room and went to Pratap Chandra Hazra, and while smoking discussed the same topic with him. He said, "How can that be? This jug is God, this cup is God, whatever we see is God, and we too are God. Nothing can be more preposterous." Hazra joined in this criticism and both laughed. Sri Ramakrishna was in his room. In a state of semi-consciousness, hearing Narendra's laughter, he came out with his cloth under his arm like a child. "Hello, what are you talking about?" he said, smiling, touched Narendra and plunged into samadhi. Narendra described the effect of that touch. That magic touch of the master immediately brought a change over my mind. I was stupefied to find that really there was nothing in the universe but God. I saw it quite clearly, but kept silent to see if the idea would last. But that influence did not abate in the course of the day. I returned home, but there too everything I saw appeared to be Brahman. I sat down to take my meal, but found that everything, the food, the plate, the person who served, and even myself, was nothing but that. I ate a morsel or two and sat still. I was startled by my mother's words. "Why do you sit still? Finish your meal." and began to eat again. But all the while, whether eating or lying down or going to college, I had the same experience and felt myself always in a sort of comatose state. While walking in the streets, I noticed cabs playing, but I did not feel inclined to move out of the way, for I felt that the cabs and myself were of one stuff. There was no sensation in my limbs, which I thought were becoming paralyzed. I had no satisfaction from eating and felt as if somebody else were eating. Sometimes I lay down during a meal and after a few minutes got up and began to eat again. The result would be that on some days I would take too much, but it seems to do no harm. My mother became alarmed and said that there must be something wrong with me. She was afraid that I would not live long. When this state altered a little, the world began to appear to me as a dream. While walking in Cornwallis Square, I would strike my head against the iron railings to see if they were real or only a dream. This state of things continued for some days. When I became normal again, I realized that I must have had a glimpse of the Advaita state. Then it struck me that the words of the scriptures were not false. Thenceforth, I could not deny the conclusions of the Advaita philosophy. So, my dear friends, today I'm stopping here because everything is there for a reason, right? So, let's digest this reality. Let's digest this reality, and before ending this, in a very materialistic way, let me state one thing. We are made out of matter, right? Even though there is some other virus or bacteria which can invade us and which can make us ill, but still, if we actually investigate, we are all made up of some particles, some molecules. If we dig deeper, then we can find that we are made out of some subatomic particles, some proton, electron, neutron, some other form of matter like boson. Everything is there, but everything is same and with a huge amount of space, but still we find our probability to exist in some place much more higher. And um if we actually further disintegrate those little particles further, then we will find that we are made out of energy, right? So this much we know. So we are all energies in a different form with a different vibrational frequencies. So we are all same. But in a but we have our different realities and we are living that life. It may be there is some some sort of goal we have, that this energy is trying to realize itself in a different mode, in a different point of view. So if we are living, whether we are live or dead, means if we are animated or inanimate, but still we are serving to explore who we are actually. So whatever state we are in, whether it is good or bad, whether it is honest or whether we are honest or dishonest, but still we are serving our sole purpose to know ourselves, to become the united, to know our true self. So let's explore, let's proceed through our journey of our life so that we can serve our duties with utmost honesty and love. And I hope that we will be successful in this sadhana with the blessings of our parents, with the kripa of our guru, and with the icha, with the wish of Almighty. So, with this, today I am stopping here. Shubhaya Bhavatu.